Hello, and welcome to another GE MDS training video. In this video, we will be covering DDNS configuration on the GE MDS Orbit MCR. DDNS is typically used when you have a public dynamic IP address. Instead of trying to access the IP address that may change at any time, instead you will access a domain name that resolves the current IP address for you. So you'll never need to know the IP address again. You only need to know your domain name. Let's see how to configure this on the Orbit. After logging in, expand the Interfaces tab, then press Cell, then go to Basic Config, expand the IPv4 tab, then make sure you have the IPv4 checkbox enabled and DHCP, and then make sure the Request DNS and Request Routers are enabled. Then verify that you can ping one of the domain name services, such as DYN.com. After verifying that you can ping, expand the Services tab, then select DDNS service, then go to Basic Config. Here we will enable the service, then select a provider. As you can see, we have DYN.com, NoIP.com, and then you can select any others that you wish to use. You need a host name, username, and password from the DDNS service. After logging into your DDNS service, again in this case we'll be using DYN, click the Add New Hostname button. Then give it a hostname that you wish to use. Then choose any one of the given domains. Then give it a fake IP address. We'll just use all ones in this case. It doesn't matter as this will be overwritten. Then press the Activate button. And then you can see in your list is the new host that you created. Back on the Orbit, we'll give it the host name that we just created. Then enter your username and password for your account for the DDNS service. For the interface, we're going to select Cell. We'll go over the other options in a moment. For now, just press Save. Then press the Refresh button. As you can see, the update state says Success. Then if we go back to the DDNS service and hit the refresh button, it'll now contain the current IP address on your cell interface. Let's go over some of the DDNS configuration items. The Enable button simply turns the DDNS service on or off. The provider selects the DDNS provider. Again, we have DYN.com, NoIP, and then you can use any other one that you wish as well. The host name sets the pre-selected host name. The username and password are your username and password for the DDNS provider. The interface selects which interface IP to provide to the DDNS server. The update interval is how often in minutes to update the DDNS server. Then we have the failure retry interval, and this is how often in seconds to retry updates to the DDNS server in case there's a failure. Then the max failure retries is the maximum number of retries to attempt before waiting until the next update interval. The HTTPS checkbox, when enabled, sends DDNS updates using HTTPS instead of HTTP. Then we have the Verify Certificate checkbox. When enabled, we will verify the DDNS server certificate. To do this verification, you will load it into the Orbit and then select it in the CA certificate field. This is just a locally stored CA that you're given from the DDNS server. On DYN.com, an easy way to grab the CA certificate is to click on the lock up in the top left corner of your browser, then go to Connection, then Certificate Information, then in Certification Path, select the highest one, which is the root, then select View Certificate. Then we'll go to Details, then Copy to File. You can leave this as a dir encoded binary file. Then press Next. Now we need to give it a file name. I'll just throw it in this junk folder. I'm just naming it dynca.cer. Then press Save. Then Next. And then Finish. Now that we have the CA, let's import it into the orbit and then set up the DDNS CA verification. On the web interface, select Certificate Management. Then go to Actions. Then open the Get CA certificate. Here you can select which type of server you want to use. We'll just use TFTP. We'll give it an identity. This is only used for naming purposes within the orbit. Then the server address, and the file path will be the file name. Then select Begin Importing. Then hit the refresh button. Open the CA certs, and there's our DynCA. Now let's go back to Services, DDNS, Basic Config. Then we'll enable the Verify Server certificate, and now we'll select the CA. Make sure that it looks just like this. Then press Save. Now let's refresh the page. And as you can see, the timestamp has changed and the update state is successful. Thank you for watching another GE MDS training video. For more information, please visit our website at gemds.com and check out our other YouTube videos.